Thank you, Ms. Underwood. Ms. Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Secretary. Thank you for appearing before our committee and answering our questions. Your budget request, I believe you have $77.4 million for border management staffing. Is that correct on my number?
I believe that's correct.
How many additional Border Patrol agents does that number and that funding level support hiring?
So I want to make sure.
Welcome back to the channel, Patriots. If you care about national security, law and order, and the future of this country, hit that like button and subscribe. We're diving into something that should concern every American. Our southern border is in chaos, and no one in the Biden administration seems to care.
Staffing, is that correct on my number?
I believe that's correct.
How many additional Border Patrol agents does that number and that funding level support hiring?
So I want to make sure that I speak accurately here, Congresswoman. I don't want to make a mistake because there are two elements of the budget that go to personnel of our Border Patrol agents and Customs and Border Protection.
So let's
writ
specifically
large.
ask for the agents that
There's-
are
there's
out
a-
on the
there's-
border.
Yeah, there's a drawdown from the Department of Defense, which we calculate separately. Our department, since 2006, every single year has
I'm
depended
not
upon
asking
the
about
Department.
2006, Mr. Secretary. I'm
I'm sorry.
asking about how many agents you're planning to add to your list. I believe the number is 350 Border Patrol agents, if I'm
350
correct.
Border Patrol agents in fiscal year 2024, and this fiscal year, we added 300, the first time since
this-
2011.
Is this what CBP is telling you they need to be able to secure the border and provide that operational security? Is that the number, or is it more?
It's 300. Remember something, if I may, Congresswoman, that there's a limit to how many we can actually functionally hire in a particular year. We need more Border Patrol agents than 350.
Which is my
that we're
biggest
spe-
concern, because there's
But we-
800 or so of those positions that are open right now. So I guess my biggest question is, when you look at 19,000 staffed Border Patrol agents, which is what we have right now, funded for 19,800, 800 of those positions are currently open. So when you're coming to us and saying you need more Border Patrol agents, the policies of this administration have truly affected retention for CBP. So when we're down 800 currently, how can you tell me realistically that when you're coming to us to ask for these many new positions, you're going to be able to feasibly actually hire this many new people?
Oh, Congresswoman, we are intensely focused on recruiting and retention. And as a matter of fact, I spoke with the International Association of the Chiefs of Police just last week about the challenges of recruiting and retention, not specific to the federal government, but with respect to law enforcement across this country. We are very focused on filling the positions of the Border Patrol, of filling the positions of Office of Field Operations,
Well, I
of
think it would
filling the
certainly help
positions
if
of
we
the
didn't have
United States
defunded
Secret
police
Service.
rhetoric around the country as well, because law enforcement is struggling. You're right. I hear that from my local law enforcement back in my district. It is why I'm so concerned about the security of the border when the CBP chief is saying that you need 22,000 agents total to counter the crisis. That's a total of 3,000 more agents. This request only provides for 350 more, plus I mentioned those 800 positions open. So I see it as a lack of meaningful work to address the retention challenges. They don't match what CBP is actually asking for. Throwing out increased numbers looks nice, I think, but it does not actually address the reality of the situation at our southern border. Mr. Secretary, are you aware of how many times in your budget request you mentioned the word?
DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas recently appeared before Congress to defend his department's 2024 budget request. Let me tell you, what came out of that hearing was nothing short of infuriating. The budget request? $77 million for border management staffing. Sounds like a decent number, right? Until you realize that only 350 new Border Patrol agents are being requested while 800 positions remain unfilled. Do the math. We're falling behind, and fast. What's worse, even CBP's own leadership has said they need 22,000 agents to handle the surge and secure the border. That's 3,000 more than we currently have. Mayorkas' plan doesn't even come close. And let's talk about morale. Border Patrol agents are burnt out, overworked, and feel completely disrespected by this administration. That's not just speculation, those were the words used in the hearing. When your own agents are saying the border isn't secure and that leadership is ignoring them, that's a crisis. Now here's where it gets really disturbing. When asked how many times the word cartel appeared in the 100-page DHS budget proposal, the answer was zero. Zero. Not once. Not even a mention of the transnational criminal organizations that are responsible for pumping deadly fentanyl into our communities and human trafficking across our border. This administration claims they're addressing the crisis in unprecedented ways, yet the cartels aren't even on paper in their strategic documents. Either they're deliberately ignoring the problem, or they're completely incompetent. Frankly, I think it's both. And let's not forget the fentanyl epidemic killing tens of thousands of Americans. These drugs are not made in the U.S. They are coming from China to Mexico and then through our southern border. If you're not willing to confront the cartels head-on, you're not serious about stopping fentanyl. Period. Mayorkas can give all the politically correct answers he wants, but Americans aren't buying it. We're living with the consequences rural communities overrun with drugs, crime spilling across the border, and the government too weak to act. So here's the bottom line. This budget is a joke. The policies are failing, and the people in charge are not listening to the heroes on the ground, the men and women of Border Patrol. If you're as fired up about this as I am, it's time to get loud. Share this video. Call your representatives. Demand accountability. Because if we don't fight for the border now, there might not be a country left to fight for. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the truth about what's really happening in our country. I'll see you in the next one. Stay vigilant and stay free.